fight fans, UFC 257, shaping up to be a great card. I'm Seattle Mike, MMA with Friends. Everybody, please hit that like button if you like everything boxing, violence. We've even done some kickboxing, different things in here. Hit that subscribe button or I will track you down and I will break your nose into pieces. Just kidding. Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. Finally, we get to see the debut of Michael Chandler in the UFC. How legit is he? What does he have? Let's look at the last couple of fights for these guys. Michael Chandler coming off 2 knockout wins in Bellator, a quick knockout win of Benson Henderson, who I do think's been on the way down for quite some time. Go back 3 fights, and Chandler defended his lightweight belt against Patricio Pitbull Ferreira. Pitbull's a hard hitter. The guy, he's got a lot of power. Here's the thing with Patricio Pitbull, though. The guy is a much smaller fighter. The guy's a 145er. I mean, he fights at 145 and 155, but he was moving up in weight. He was basically fighting at his walk-around weight. Chandler cuts a decent amount of weight. He's not a real tall lightweight at 5'8". Dan Hooker, and when you look at the rankings, lost his last fight to Dustin Poirier, was very competitive. Both of those guys went back and forth, landed a lot of good shots. You've seen Dan Hooker use a very good wrestling defense, grappling defense several times with Dustin Poirier, as Poirier tried to take it to the ground many times. And this fight ended up being a lot of striking. Now, Chandler is going to have the advantage when it comes to head movement. He is going to have the advantage when it comes to wrestling. Chandler, before he got clipped in that Lima fight, you could see him throwing that jab out there, moving the head. He's going to have a little bit of a speed advantage, I think, too. Now, Hooker comes in. I think Hooker, he's top 5. He's about 5 in the lightweight division because he lost that fight to Dustin. You got Connor now. You got Dustin. You got maybe Leon Edwards if he fights at 155. I don't know if he can make 155 or if he will. You got Gaethje. Ferguson's lost 2 in a row, but you got Oliveira. So you got Hooker sitting in there right about 5 or 6. Michael Chandler, to me, he's got to prove himself a lot. He was a staple in Bellator for many, many years. Lost that championship a couple of times, but always gained it back. The guy's a murderer. The guy was a legit draw over there in Bellator. And I believe his biggest draw, I think he was Bellator's spokesman, and I think they let a big fish go. And that mistake is going to come back, I think, to bite Bellator twofold. One, they really don't have a star over there right now. They don't really have somebody you can point to and say, this is the guy. Michael Venom Page, he's flashy, he's entertaining to watch. He stumbled against higher competition, though. Couldn't get through the Grand Prix. He's not a champion. You got a few other guys over there. Patricio Ferreira, he doesn't have the English, maybe to draw like a Michael Chandler, but to me, he is their biggest star over there right now. And I think he is a legit star and a 2-weight division champion. Let's not get too hung up on Bellator, though. But they are the B game. At the end of the day, everybody knows Bellator is the B game. Michael Chandler, yeah, he was the big fish in the little pond over there in Bellator. Now he's coming over to try his hand in the big pond. And to me, he's an ordinary lightweight. Dan Hooker, he's going to have the advantage when it comes to kicks. Michael Chandler thought it was bad when Brent Primus kicked his leg and it seized up, and Michael Chandler ends up losing to a part-time fighter, Brent Primus. I mean, I know he hit a nerve that seized his leg up, but other fighters have continued to go on after that. Chandler, he's proved that, he can be stunned. He's a bit chinny. He's been hit a few good times. He had those bad losses to Will Brooks, and not to make MMA math, too much of that, but Will Brooks defeated Michael Chandler, came over to the UFC. Dude couldn't hang. He was like 1-5 in the UFC. Then he ends up there over in PFL. I thought he was going to come through and make a legitimate shot at that $1 million over there in PFL. He didn't do much better over there. Michael Chandler, he's a B-level fighter. To me, he's maybe 8th or 9th in the division. The fact that he was the stand-in for the championship fight against Justin Gaethje and Khabib, that was a little nuts to me. Let me tell you how Bellator loses twofold, though. One, they lose their superstar. They lose their spokesperson. They lose the face of their organization. 2, now I think he's going to get embarrassed. I think this is a horrible matchup for him. I think Dan Hooker hits too hard. I think Chandler's going to have issues with the leg kicks. Now look at the height and reach difference. Dan Hooker, he's a very tall lightweight. He's 6 feet tall. That reach, though, is ridiculous at 75 inches. Chandler has never faced anybody with this kind of reach. This is a 6-inch reach difference. That's a huge reach difference. And Michael Chandler, I mean, I know he can duck under some of those shots. He can duck under, some of those jabs and things. He's going to get his chances. He might get a takedown or two. I really think when he faces Dan Hooker's power, which Dan Hooker, I mean, this dude can rock people. He can knock people out, and I think he does it to Michael Chandler. I think Michael Chandler is lucky to get through 2 rounds. I'm calling this fight Dan Hooker by 2nd round knockout. The odds on the books on this one early put Dan Hooker as a favorite like I do, right around minus 162. If you think you might be able to make some money on Michael Chandler, which I wouldn't advise, about plus 150. So you're going to make about a time and a half. Maybe I'm being a bit disrespectful to Michael Chandler. I really don't think I am. I think Dan Hooker is right on that cusp of being in that championship echelon in the lightweight division in the UFC, which is one of the greatest divisions in the history of mixed martial arts, this 155-pound division. It's not as strong as it was maybe 2 years ago, but it's still one of the best divisions ever. Michael Chandler, no disrespect to him. The dude is a stud. He works very hard. He has a great skill set. There are guys in the UFC he can beat. I believe he will get some wins over there. I don't believe that he will win a championship, and I don't believe he will challenge for a championship. There's just too many guys, I think, that would defeat him right now. I think Conor destroys him. I think Dustin Poirier makes it pretty easy. I think Dan Hooker knocks him out. I think Justin Gaethje just obliterates him. Leg kick, strikes, you name it. Pick your poison. I think Tony Ferguson beats him. I think Charles Oliveira beats him. So that puts him down at least as low as 7 in the lightweight division. I'm not sure he beats Rafael dos Anjos either, so maybe drop him down to 8. Super overrated. Bad move for Bellator. Bad move for Michael Chandler unless he broke the bank on this. I just don't think he can swim with the big fish. Like I said, Dan Hooker by 2nd round knockout. But let me know what you guys think. Am I hating too much on Chandler? Am I being too biased towards the UFC? Or you say, Mike, there's other organizations other than the UFC. There's a lot of legit fighters over there in Bellator. There is. But they're the B game. And I put them below ONE FC. they're right there. I'm not even sure they're third, to be honest. You got LFA, you got Cage Warriors, some other things. I don't want to get too far off track, but that's my prediction. Dan Hooker, the slight favorite in this one, takes this one easily by second round knockout. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments, guys. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses next time.